This is editor Bill Hernandez at rockbandreviews.com in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I have the pleasure of speaking today with director FRAN Strine, whose feature-length documentary film Hired Gun hits theaters this Thursday, June 29th. Fran has taken time from his very busy schedule to discuss the aspects of the film and what went into the making of this epic music documentary that takes you behind the scenes like never before. So, let's get started. When did you first become interested in directing?
You know, I picked up a video camera for the first time in 1999 on a tour I was on. And it was just a little Sony Handycam, and I was like, I was a photographer by trade. And once I saw moving images, that really piqued my interest. I was like, wow, now I can actually tell a story instead of just, one iconic image, which is cool, but, say a picture says it tells 1,000 words. Well, I want to tell 1,000 words, in a bunch of pictures. So that really piqued my interest, and I've done a bunch of documentaries in the past, mostly for record labels, like the making of album DVDs or whatnot. But this was my first real dive into something that's super high quality, and to put out there for the masses. And I'm thrilled about Thursday night.
Now, how did the idea for Hired Gun come about?
Right. So, in my journey as a photographer, video guy for all these bands, I'm always aware of them. And I thought that they did such a great job on the Wrecking Crew and on 20 Feet from Stardom, Muscle Shoals, all that kind of stuff. Well, I thought, well, what about if we did one that's a little bit more contemporary, to still pay homage to some of the old guard like Steve Lukather, Ray Parker, David Foster, Jay Gray, and all those guys. So that's kind of how the idea came, except I wanted my story to be a little bit more compelling and show the like some of the grit that you see with, Liberty DeVito and the tragic scenario that happened with Rudy Sarzo and Randy Rhoads. And really delve into that, and kind of the music be the background and the story be more the forefront, because I always tell people I love going to the movies and crying, laughing, having all these different kind of emotions. And that's what I really wanted to convey as a filmmaker with this one, is great storytelling that's compelling. And from the reaction I've seen around the world, we've taken this thing all over the country and world. It's been it's made my day.
Now Hired Gun is a look into an area that most music fans have no idea about. So I'm thinking that at the end of this film, they'll certainly have a different outlook on the music business as a whole.
They will. That's another reason I'm making this film. It's like, the next time you go see Alice Cooper or Pink or Bon Jovi or any of these great bands, take a second and really appreciate the guitar player, the keyboard player way in the back, because you just don't know what their real life is like, and hopefully this film gives them a glimpse of what these guys go through. Yeah, I find this documentary amazing because it's introduced me, who's been doing interviews and writing about music for 23 years, to musicians I've never heard of, but but that now I'm a big fan of because of this documentary. Justin Dorico is a perfect example. I'm like, who is this guy? And then you just see him going off, and amazing. So look, between him and Phil Lex, they may be my two favorite guitar players of this generation. Those guys are just wicked.
Oh, absolutely. And so many musicians in the industry which you have exposed with this documentary have played on multi-platinum selling albums but aren't getting, credited for the contributions. So what contingencies do you think need to be put in place by the industry to make sure these A-list musicians get the credit they deserve?
Well, that's the thing. Nobody's buying records anymore, so you can't look at the back of an album fold and see a credit sheet. You know what I mean? So that era is gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they do. I know that there's unions. That's your session guy. So you get residuals now on some of the stuff. But, it's just, even David Foster, he doesn't get much session work in the early, big dates, because there's just no budgets. So it's very, very difficult for these guys to have any kind of security blanket. So there really is none.
It's a shame, man. And this documentary, like you were talking about before, there's some pretty jarring moments in this film that are very emotional as well. And after seeing this, I have a different outlook about some of the artists that I really enjoyed, and how they went about replacing like original band members, and how some of them were basically kicked to the curb. I'm certain that moviegoers might feel the same, and now personally, I honestly look at Billy Joel in a whole different light now. You know.
I think everybody does. You know,
that's just ridiculous.
What's funny is we gave Billy Joel an opportunity to come and tell his side of the story, and he declined. You know, and he saw the transcripts and everything. So
yeah,
I don't know Billy Joel. I've never met the guy. You know, I can only go by what people told me and the archival footage that we were able to acquire and see.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of just speaks for itself. You know,
just the tone in Liberty's voice and everything. I mean, you know, this guy was not BSing at all. I mean, there was so much emotion. You know, unbelievable. And he's a fantastic guy. I tell you, I've met him before.
Liberty's great.
Phenomenal.
Great guy.
Now, here's a question: what's to become of the film that ended up on the cutting room floor?
You know, we could make 3 more hired gun documentaries that are equally, if not as better as the ones you got to see.
Oh, let's do it, man.
So much stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of work. But, you know, look, we don't want to cut anybody out, but...
Yeah, you can't make a 6-hour documentary either, you know?
Yeah,
so.
you can't really fall in love with more than 3 or 4 characters in 90 minutes, so...
True that.
Again, the storytelling is very important to me. And that's what captivates an audience. And if you don't have the story there, then you've lost everybody.
Absolutely. You know? Now, in some parts of the film, we see many of the featured hired guns jamming together.
Right.
Will a soundtrack be available for this film?
You know, we did toss that idea around, but it's so expensive, and the return that you get back is just not feasible. But I'm sure you'll be able to go on like YouTube and find some of those songs.
Yeah, I mean, these guys and girls, because you know there's some great girl guitar players you're featuring in there. Should just all get together and if they have any off time and just put a band together and tour, because they're phenomenal. It's like a super group, man.
Jokes about that at the end of the movie. He makes a wise crack about that, about getting all these hired guns together and call them on the side like French fries.
Absolutely. You know? So finally, Fran, what's next on the horizon for you, man?
Well, next thing on the horizon for me as a filmmaker, which I'm thrilled about, is my next film will be shot on film, which has been a dream of mine. And now I've got the opportunity to do it. I can't really talk too much about it, but it will be another music-centric film about some of the most timeless music of our era. So just know it's coming, and hopefully it won't take 3 years to put out, but it's something I'll be working on starting probably in July, starting pre-production. All
right, wonderful, Fran. Hey, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll get this up and running, and we'll send you the link, and you can take a look at what we've done here together today.
Great. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the time.
Continued success, sir.
Thank you.
Later. Bye-bye.